Winning a NASCAR race is something many young drivers dream of doing, but winning at stock car racing's premier level is an obstacle many never even achieve. But for those who are lucky enough to stand in victory lane, the celebration can be short-lived. After all, you're only as good as your last race. I'm Justin within RN, and here's my list of the top 10 one-win wonders. Try saying that 10 times fast. Number 10, Earl Bomber. Bomber began his professional racing career at the age of 23 and never failed to qualify for a race. In fact, qualifying was kind of his bread and butter. He had an average starting position of 10th, but he didn't tend to finish there with an average finish of 20th. His first and only victory in NASCAR came during the 1966 Daytona 500 qualifier race. Bomber is best known for the 1966 Southern 500 when he came together with Richard Petty and spewed gas and debris towards the Turn 1 press box, causing the journalists to hit the deck. Thankfully, no one was injured, but to this day it's known as the Bomber's Box. Number 9, Bobby Dillon Jr. The son of an IndyCar driver, Dillon made his first NASCAR start at the age of 17, driving his family's car during the 1982 Northwestern Band 400 at North Wilkesboro. He moved to the great state of North Carolina to continue his racing career, and in 1984 earned his first win in 1986 at Talladega, making him the youngest winner at the time at 22 years of age. Unfortunately, after his win, his career went into a bit of a downward spiral. Dillon was never able to capture that lightning in a bottle again and raced for a number of teams over the next several years. He made his last NASCAR start in 2009. Number 8, Phil Parsons. The younger brother of NASCAR champion Benny Parsons, Phil began racing in what is now the Xfinity Series for Johnny Hayes. After winning 2 races together, Hayes and Parsons went cup racing in 1984. In his first season, he scored 3 top 8 finishes and finished second behind Rusty Wallace for Rookie of the Year honors. His big win came in 1988 when he led 52 laps and won the Winston 500 at Talladega. And based on the title of this very video, he was never able to win again. He would return to Xfinity Series for a few more years and would start his own race team, Phil Parsons Racing, but that closed its doors in 2015. Number 7, Brett Bodine. This is actually a very interesting story and a race that is still debated to this day. You see, some don't even believe that Bodine actually won this race. His older brother Jeff Bodine won the 1986 Daytona 500, and his younger brother Todd won the 2006 Truck Series Championship. But Brett won the infamous 1990 First Union 400 from North Wilkesboro. Dale Earnhardt and Darrell Waltrip had been battling for most of that race. The issue began when Kenny Wallace, who was making his first Cup start, crashed in Turn 1. See, some things never change. The caution came out, but then the pace car picked up Dale Earnhardt instead of Brett Bodine, who had the fresher tires. This was before electronic scoring. There was some confusion on who led the race, and it took 17 caution laps to sort out all the mess. In the end, Bodine was declared the winner of the race. But after the race, Waltrip, who had finished second, protested the victory. Number 6, Johnny Benson. When Johnny Benson began his Cup career in 1996, he was the second of only 3 drivers to have won both Truck Series Championship and what is now the Xfinity Series Championship. He was the 1996 Rookie of the Year champion, scored a pole position at Atlanta, and almost won the Brickyard 400 before a problem on the last pit stop of the race cost him the victory. He would have an unsuccessful run with Roush Racing before moving to Tyler Jet Motorsports for the 2000 season. But in 2002, at the Pop Secret Microwave Popcorn 400 at Rockingham, Benson started 26th and passed the leader Mark Martin with 50 laps to go to win his first career race, a margin of victory of only 0.26 seconds. It was a great finish, and a much younger me who still had hopes and dreams and aspirations was sitting in Turn 1 to witness the entire thing. It was a great race, and I still miss Rockingham. Please, NASCAR, bring back Rockingham. Number 5, Ron Bouchard. Bouchard got his start, as many do, on the local racing circuit. After high school, he started racing his father's car and won 5 track championships from 1967 to 71. His NASCAR career began in 1981 in the number 47 J.D. Stacy Buick owned by Jack Beebe. He competed in 22 out of the 31 races in his first season. but that was still good enough to earn him the 1981 Rookie of the Year award. In his first season of racing is when he captured his one and only win at Talladega. He was running third to Darrell Waltrip and Terry Labonte on the last lap when he made a move in the final corner and crossed the line for a photo finish victory. Number 4, Jerry Nadeau. Catching the eye of talent scouts at the karting level, he was asked to participate in a race at Lime Rock Park. During the race, he caught the eye of Skip Barber and began racing cars in the Skip Barber Eastern Series. He won 8 times and took Rookie of the Year honors. He spent some time racing in Europe and returned in 1997 and replaced Morgan Shepherd for 5 races. His big break came in 2000 when he was hired by Hendrick Motorsports, replacing a legend in his own mind, Wally Dallenbach. That's when he won his first and only NASCAR race, when he passed Ward Burton with 7 laps to go at Atlanta Motor Speedway. He raced with Hendrick until 2002 when he was let go from the contract due to a lack of performance. In 2003, Nadeau would have a violent crash at Richmond during a practice session that would render him unconscious. Nadeau suffered a few minor injuries, such as complete immobility to the left side of his body, a skull fracture, concussion, a collapsed lung, and several broken ribs. Nothing major. He tried to make a comeback in 2003, but wasn't able to do so. Number 3, Regan Smith. His parents owned Mile Per Hour Racing and began racing go-karts when he was 4. In 2001, he began racing in the Truck Series at South Boston Speedway. He wouldn't make his first career Cup start until 2007, when he competed in the first Car of Tomorrow race, one of the best NASCAR designs ever created, and it's still missed to this day. Good to see my sarcasm works. In 2008, Regan Smith actually passed Tony Stewart to win a race at Talladega, only to have it taken away because he actually passed below the yellow line, so that doesn't count. In 2009, he signed with Furniture Row Racing to drive the number 78 car, and crashed during the 2011 Daytona 500 while racing for the lead. He would finish 7th, picking up his first career top 10 finish, but a few months later, Smith would pick up his first and only win at Darlington while holding off Carl Edwards. It was the second time a driver had won his first career race at Darlington. The other driver was... Number 2, Lake Speed. Lake was born in Jackson, Mississippi. His father was elected mayor in 1948, the same year Lake was born. Much to the displeasure of his family, Speed began racing karts and won the International Karting Federation and the National Championship 6 times. He also won the Karting World Championship over Ayrton Senna, who, would go on to be a 3-time Formula One champion, that Ayrton Senna. Speed thought of going to F1, but Humpy Wheeler convinced him otherwise, and he went to NASCAR. He made his first start in 1980, and throughout his NASCAR career that ended in 1998, Speed scored 75 top 10 finishes and 1 win that came at Darlington during the 1988 Trans-South 500. Number 1, Casey Mears. When it's announced that you're going to be driving for a team like Chip Ganassi, you would hope that everyone would feel you deserved it. However, when it was announced that Casey Mears would be driving the number 41, many were stunned. In his first year with the team, he failed to score a top 10 finish and ended up 31st in the points. He stayed with Ganassi until 2006, when he announced that he would be driving for Hendrick. After joining the team, he finally got his first career win during NASCAR's longest race, the 2007 Coca-Cola 600. Unfortunately, that was the last win for Mears, and after a winless 2008, he was released from Hendrick. Over the next few seasons, he drove for many teams, including a small stint with Red Bull until he crashed his teammate Scott Speed. He drove the number 13 Geico machine until being replaced this year by Ty Dillon. This year, he's been racing in the Xfinity Series, which he also only has 1 career win. But Mears was only able to score 1 win after starting his career in 2 of NASCAR's top teams. Do you agree with my list? Is there a driver you think I missed? If so, let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more top 10s. I'm Justin with NRN, and thanks for watching.